I also do live digital caricatures. And in this video, I'm going to show you my method for drawing live digital caricatures, and I'm going to explain it to you along the way. After the demo, I'll give you a quick look at my equipment and setup. Okay, the first thing that I do is to set up a canvas before the event, and to do that you just press the plus button. You're going to create a 4x6 canvas that is 300 dpi, just like that. And I have one over here that's already created, and it has a couple of the drawings in it that I did at a recent event. Okay, the next thing I do is I'm going to set up some layers for drawing, and I'm doing all this before the event ever starts. So the first layer, I'm going to rename this and call it the lines. Then I'm going to create this bottom layer. I'm going to rename it sketch. And then I am going to lower the opacity on this layer. Put something on it so that we can see the opacity being lowered. Now we're lowering it, let's say 25%. It doesn't exactly matter as long as it's lower opacity. The next layer is going to be my color layer. So let's name it color. Then the layer above that is going to be a shadow layer. This layer I'm setting to multiply. So I'm clicking here on this area. It's going to give me a drop down. I'm going to set it to multiply. I'm going to lower the opacity on this too. Let's say 30-40%. Now we're going to create a new layer, and I'm going to name that one highlights. I'm going to click this area here and set it to screen. You can set it to add or to screen. Either one of those does good highlights. Let's draw something on there so that we can see it. I'm going to set the opacity. You can't really see that, but you can tell I'm setting the opacity to something lower. Okay, now let's clear those layers so that they're clean and ready to draw on. Now I'm going to turn this into a group. Now my group is created. I've got the lines on top, highlights set to screen, and lowered opacity below that. Below that I've got shadows set to multiply. I've got color that's set to normal, and I've got sketch on normal, but the opacity is lowered. Now here's a trick. I've got all these layers set up, and when you're drawing at an event you want to be fast. So you don't have time to set those layers up every time. So what you do is you just duplicate this group. Now each one of these groups is going to be a drawing during the event. Okay, so let's do a drawing. For my sketch I'm going to use a blue colored line, and I'm going to draw this person here who happens to be my youngest brother. And this is how I would do it at an event. I just draw a quick outline sketch It's similar to my method where I draw with paper. And that's my sketch. Now I'm going to go to the lines layer. I'm going to select black for the lines. And here we go. Now, the cool thing about digital is you can zoom in. And draw the eyes. Now when I'm drawing at a digital gig, it seems like I can't get as much detail as I can on paper, because these are supposed to be like 6-minute sketches. So I'm just drawing in what I see, basically. I don't go too wild or get too cartoony. Usually the cartoon is in the head shape. I don't think I exaggerated it very much on this one. But really this one is just to show you how I do the whole digital method. I'm getting his eyebrow on the other side. Got the wrinkle for the underneath the eyelid. Alright, now he has an interesting nose. So maybe we can exaggerate a little bit on that. Yeah, I think I just did exaggerate, so this is going to be funny. Hopefully he'll laugh at me. For this example, I'm drawing a bearded person. Bearded drawing may be the most difficult one because it adds an extra step during the color phase, but so far I think this is coming out pretty good. So we're going to draw a big cartoon beard first. To me this kind of looks like a Viking beard. I think I've told him that a couple of times. Alrighty. Gonna get the cheeks on the other side. I want to hurry up and get to the part where I'm showing you how I do the coloring. Got some forehead wrinkles where he's popping up his eyebrows, and a shape for the hair. The ear on that side. You can't really see the ear on the other side, but we can cheat a little bit and draw a corner of the ear over there. Draw a little bit of the jacket. There we are. Next step, make the sketch disappear. Now click on the layer that says color. I click on my colors. I choose a skin tone. I've created these ahead of time. And watch this cool trick. This saves a lot of time. I'm going to outline the entire area that I want colored skin tone. Then I touch this color dot, I bring it down and release it, and it colors that whole area. Color in the lips. Now I need white, and to get to white quick, I put my finger on this white background. It changes the color dot to white. I color his eyes white. His iris are green, so I choose my favorite green. Draw that in. Now we're gonna, he's got a red hair, so we're going to choose our favorite red. Actually, let's get his eyebrows first, which are a brownish, a reddish brown. Could even say his hair on top is a reddish brown. And I can do the same thing here. Just outline the area that I want to color. Make sure there's no open spaces. Grab the dot, pull it over and release it, and boom. Okay, now we're going to get back to that orange reddish. And we're going to get the beard on there. Alright, now we're going to get his jacket on there. Looks like a yellow jacket with like a burgundy tie. I'm doing the same trick to save time. Now let me see if I can find a burgundy. That's close to burgundy. It's not exactly, but tie on there. You can even do the handkerchief. Okay, the next step is the shadow. So I click on the shadow. I go back to my colors. I choose a darker skin tone. And let's see what we're working with. Now we're just drawing some shadow. Now, basically, I'm just drawing what I see in front of me. In this case, I'm drawing from a photo. But I would normally be doing this with a live person sitting in front of me. And I keep the shadows simple and not too detailed, because if I'm doing this, I'm usually at a party with lots of people to draw, and so don't want to spend too much time. Okay, now I want to put some shadows in the beard, so I'm going to select this first. The color dot turns to that orange, and now I can add some color. Shadow similar to the color of the beard. Maybe a couple of shadows up here. Now I don't usually do highlights at an event, but if I got a little extra time, we could do some highlights. Click the highlight layer, select the color, we can even raise the opacity of this layer. There we go. Now you can see it more clear. That's it. Now if I want to be really fancy, I can add some kind of a framing device in the background. What I like to do for that is choose like a pastel brush and then just draw a square frame of some sort. And if I don't like the way it looks, it's easy enough to try again. there we go. You've got the lines, layer, followed by the sketch. Then I work my way up the color, the shadow, the highlights. And then when that is all done, I click this group. A drop down comes out here and I click flatten, and it's flattened down, and I'm ready for the next one. I start on the next group and I start on the next drawing. And that is my method for live digital caricatures. And this is what my setup looks like when I'm doing digital caricatures live. I've got a TV, a printer, an iPad Pro set up on a tripod. And I'll have links to those things in the description.